Eat bacon, don't jog. I eat bacon and I don't jog. So Eat Bacon, Don't Jog is the first book I ever encountered on my ketogenic diet journey. I was actually cruising through a bookstore just in the diet and wellness section trying to hop on the next big diet craze that would hopefully help me lose a couple pounds, and I saw this orange spine saying Eat Bacon, Don't Jog. I was completely intrigued right off the bat, and then when I took it out of the bookcase, to my surprise, it was only half the size of a normal book. So needless to say, this got my attention pretty quickly. Read the back of the book. First word saying, forget every assumption you might have about diet and exercise. In more than 100 short, compelling essays, there's 106 in here, Eat Bacon, Don't Jog shows why eating fat makes us thin, cardio makes us stressed and hungry, and not all calories are created equal, with the latest science to back it up. So, not only did this book look short and sweet, but it also had scientific evidence to back up some of the claims that it was boosting for this new eating lifestyle that it was proposing. So my next step was to flip through the book. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a bookstore, which is quite often, I love being in a bookstore, just something about it. I like to look at the size of the font inside of a book to see if I'm going to be intimidated. Sometimes books look like they're short, but then the font is like 5-size font. So it's just kind of overwhelming just to look at a page. So I don't know if anybody else does that. True to its word, in the back, it's these really tiny essays. Most of them aren't any more than 1 or 2 pages, maybe 3 pages max. So what's in this book? This book is split into a couple sections. The first section introduces you to the foundations of the ketogenic diet. It talks about sugar and carbohydrates and insulin, and it talks about what are the best foods for the keto diet, foods to avoid. It talks about alcohol, if you're still interested in drinking while in keto, what's the best types of alcohol to have, which ones you should avoid. It also talks about making keto affordable, because a lot of people have the argument that keto is too expensive, but Grant Petersen, the author of this book, really breaks it down, showing you that if you could afford the cost of this book, you can afford doing a ketogenic diet. The way Grant writes is super down home, accessible, and even catchy. Sumo wrestlers typically weigh more than 400 pounds, about 260 pounds more than the average Japanese man. They get there by eating huge meals of meat, white rice, noodles, and beer, followed by a nap. The glut of carbs and excess protein spike the sumo's blood sugar, and the napping assures that none of the glucose is burned as fuel during exercise. He then breaks it down, showing us how many of us do this on a daily basis. So we wake up in the morning, have some coffee, a carby donut, or a bagel, or some cereal. Then we sit in our cars, drive to work, sit at a desk. For lunch, you have a sandwich, a banana, sit at your desk some more. Go home, have dinner, have some spaghetti, have a beer, have some juice, have some soda, sit on the sofa, watch TV, go to sleep. Sounds super similar to what the sumo wrestlers were doing. So he makes connections like this that can really get you engaged and make it actually relatable, and hopefully get some lights clicking on in your head. So the first part of this title is saying Eat Bacon, and the first part of this book talks about the ketogenic diet, good foods, bad foods, and how your body responds to both. The second part, Don't Jog, talks about exercise. So he really states his case number one for why jogging is harrowing on the body, and that really the best types of exercise you can do if you do want to do something long distance where you're getting out there is just walking. The workout should be enjoyable. What he thinks is the best type of exercise are things like high intensity interval training or Tabatas, where you are exerting a lot of energy in a short amount of time. When you are done, and it's usually quick. Tabatas don't usually last more than 10 minutes or so. But by the time you are struggling to catch your breath, you are sweating a river. Also, if you can tell by this little illustration here, he's quite fond of kettlebells. And he actually includes a nice little list of different kettlebell exercises that you can try. And if you've ever heard of kettlebells, then you know it's basically a weight with a handle, and they're actually super compact, and I would suggest purchasing a kettlebell, and I left a link in the description for you to purchase one if you are interested. So he gives you a whole bunch of different techniques and using them, exercises that are as short as 1 minute that you just do a couple pumps, and then after eating, and then you're out the door. He also includes in another part of here recipes for you to try out. In my opinion, this is the essential keto starter pack. So not only does he include recipes, but also at the end he has an entire section where he lists his references and the books that he used and all the scientific data where he got his information from. So if you want to do your own research, you can do it. Do it. Eat Bacon, Don't Jog by Grant Petersen. There's a link in the description below to purchase this book. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. This is Keto 101 for people who don't like to read, like illustrations and the colors orange and green, I guess. So happy that I got to share this book with you today. This book was really a lifesaver in more ways than one. What's your favorite book on ketosis? Was there a book that started you off on the keto journey? If so, comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I might even read it and do a review on it. I love to read because reading is what? Fundamental. This is Jazz from Journeys with Jazzy. Chat soon.